There's been a lot of talk about AI recently, especially in music, and even more specifically with mastering. Some people think it's the future, some people think it's never going to be any good, some people are somewhere in between. Here are my thoughts on AI mastering. Let's talk about it. Yo, what's good, guys? Inswain with Inswain Audio. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, subscribe and stick around. I drop a video every single day. You don't want to miss these, but let's jump right into it. So first things first, if you want to hear a direct comparison between human and AI mastering, check the video I have linked in the description. I've actually made a video on that, comparing them side by side, so you can make a decision for yourself. But I'll tell you my thoughts on AI mastering. So I think definitely, at least at the moment, human mastering is so much better than AI mastering. And the reason for this is because what AI is trying to do is make your song sound like every other song, or what it thinks a song should sound like within that genre. And while that can be roughly okay, every song is individual and it needs a human to decide if we're going to fit into these standards or if we're going to break the rules a little bit, or how. And at least at the moment, AI is not doing that. Things like Ozone and AI mastering like that, and AI mastering assistants, whether it's a plugin or a service, what they're trying to do is find a range or an average of what a song should sound like and conform your song to that. And that's not always going to be the best thing, because maybe your song is so left field or unique in one way or another, or maybe in multiple ways, and it needs specific care. It needs to be specifically tended to. It's not a one size fits all. Every song is a case by case basis, and it needs to be thought of that way. But I'm not the type of person that just hates on AI mastering. I'm going to tell you why I think it might be worth it in some cases. I think it is worth it if you aren't getting a good mix, whether it's you or someone. If you're not getting the best mix and you don't know how to master and you don't have a big budget, AI mastering might be worth it. It's going to get your song to be maybe more clear, wider, louder, more competitive in those senses, and it's relatively cheap. So if you're that type of artist that doesn't have a big budget and doesn't already have amazing mixes, then yeah, it's probably worth it. It's better than nothing. Now, let's say you're in similar shoes to that, but you actually are getting decent mixes, whether it's you or a dedicated mix engineer. If you are an artist that doesn't have the budget to hire a mastering engineer, but you have pretty good mixes, I would say AI mastering is not worth it, and you're better off just putting a limiter on your mix. Just turn your mix up and don't use some boilerplate one size fits all AI mastering thing. Just keep your mix how it is, but just turn it up. I think that's actually going to sound better than the AI mastering trying to reshape and mold your mix into ways that might not work so greatly. You could take that even a step further, and you could get human feedback on your mixes, implement that, and then just put a limiter on those mixes, right? Because then you're kind of getting one of the benefits of human mastering, which is feedback and a second person's opinion on your mix, right? The mastering engineer is a dedicated second objective opinion on your mixes. And instead of hiring a mastering engineer to do that, you could get feedback from some trusted sources or the internet, Reddit, things like that. Get feedback on your current mix, implement those how you feel you should, and then put a limiter on that mix. But of course, hiring an actual mastering engineer is going to give you the best results currently. But I understand it can be expensive, especially with all the other things in music, and it might not be in your budget. But with that being said, mastering is relatively very cheap compared to other services like mixing, production, recording, all of these things. If you know, you know, it gets very expensive. And honestly, mastering is one of the cheapest steps of that whole process. So maybe it is worth it for you to hire a mastering engineer. Me personally, I mix my own music and master my own music most of the time. But that is because I have years of experience doing it, and it makes sense for me to do it because I like to be very hands-on with my music and I like to not spend money. So it makes sense for someone in my position to do it all myself. But it took years of making bad quality things to get to this level, and a lot of working for other people to enhance my skills. Everybody's in a different position, but hopefully this video can break it down and you can decide which one is for you and what is the best route to take, in my opinion. So let me know down in the comments below, what are your thoughts on AI mastering? Have you had good experiences with it? What service did you use? I'd love to know. Or if you're old school and you think another mastering engineer is a great thing for your song, I'd love to hear that as well. I'm with you. But if you stuck around this long, throw me a like, throw me a subscribe, you know, all that lame stuff. It really helps me out. I'd appreciate it. And I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Inswain with Inswain Audio. Peace.